In today's video, I'm going to talk about a topic that was actually brought up to me by Cam. I don't know if you guys remember Cam. He was around for a good amount of time. He, got caught up with work. He's actually from Australia, and he was a huge part, going back probably about a year or so ago. He used to give me a ton of ideas for videos, and just a really, really cool guy. He hit me up last night out of the blue and sent me an email with some ideas for videos that he thinks would be good topics. So what I did was I looked them over, and I'm actually going to do a couple of them. But in today's video, what I'm going to hit on is finding out your purpose after you have had some time in recovery. A lot of people, including myself, when you go into recovery, you're going into a new realm. It's the start of a new life, pretty much, for everybody. For me personally, I was completely lost when I went to rehab. Actually, when the whole thing went down, before I even went to rehab. Absolutely mentally destroyed, completely lost, had no idea what the hell I was going to do with the rest of my life. Wasn't really goal-oriented at all anymore. I used to be extremely goal-oriented, but the drugs just, took away all my drive. I had no idea what the hell I was going to do with my life. So all I wanted to do at that point was concentrate on getting clean, okay? And I did that for a good amount of time. And after I had gotten clean, I went and moved in with my father, and he owned his own business, so I was working with him and staying with him. So I had a really good place of support, and I also had a job. I wasn't making much money because it was my father, and I was earning my keep to live in his house. Okay. So during that time, it gave me enough time for myself to think about what I was going to do for my future. I mean, I didn't have a lot of noise going on in my life. I didn't have any kids at the time. It was pretty much all about me. And I tell a lot of people that your most selfish time in recovery is your early recovery. It's not when you're using. Yeah, you're a selfish, usually most people are selfish assholes when they're using. Okay, it's all about them. But even more so when you get clean, especially in the early stages. As you get stronger, obviously you can not make everything all about you. And focus on the other people in your life. But it's very important to concentrate on your health, your well-being, learning about yourself, because most of us don't have any clue who the hell we are when we get clean. So when you get clean and you have some time under your belt and you start to look at your life, you have to really take a good look at whether or not you're doing what you want to be doing. So many of us start our lives and we go through occupations based on what we think we want to do. And for many people that I talk to, I know that part of the reason they use is because of stress. That stress is brought on by their occupation that they hate. Okay, they hate what they do for a living. They hate waking up and going to work, and they found that the drugs help them cope and help them be better at their job because, like I said, and I don't know if it was yesterday's video or a video before, and I've said it a million times, when I used to get high, you could tell me to shovel shit and I'd be happy doing it. So when you're high, you're better at your job because you don't really care what you're doing. So when you get clean and you go back to that job and you're like, I hate this stuff. Why am I doing this? And I want people to think about this for a second. When you need money, everybody needs money. But you also have to look at your life as having purpose. Okay? If you have a 9-to-5 job that you can't stand doing, that has no purpose at all, you're not doing what you feel the fire in your body and your heart really needs to be doing, you're wasting time. And I understand completely, because I am the sole breadwinner of my family. My wife stays home with the kids. You need to be able to take care of your family. If you have a family, you need to be able to take care of yourself. And that is most important. I mean, for years I did manual labor. I did marine construction that I despised. I despised going to work and doing it. I worked with the best guys, but I hated my job. But it was necessary because I knew I had to make money to support my family. Okay? But during that time that I was working, I had a bunch of different things that I was working on every night. Because I knew that wasn't my purpose. That's not what I was supposed to be doing. But it was a necessary stepping stone for me to be able to have an income while I worked on a bunch of different projects at night and sacrificing sleep many nights to make a future that I wanted. Okay? So what is very important for people to do is when they get clean and they're looking at their life and they're looking at their future and they start to think about whether or not they're happy with what they're doing, if they feel like they're fulfilling the drive inside of them, if they are fulfilling their purpose. And for many people, they don't know the purpose, and that's fine. If you go to work and you're doing your thing and you enjoy life, and you know work is just work, and that if you live your life that way, that's fine too. But for many people, including myself, I wanted more. I wanted to be able to work and do things and create more freedom for myself and enjoy life on my terms. I didn't want to work for anybody anymore. Plain and simple. I mean, I have partners in different projects that I have going on, but I am my own boss. So that doesn't happen overnight. That's something that you have to look deep into yourself and say, you know what do I want to do for the rest of my life? Because you do need things to survive. You need money, but you need a purpose. You need goals. You need things to strive for. Because without those things, without having anything to strive for, you're going to get bored, you're going to get lazy, and you're probably going to relapse. Because the idle hands are the devil's playground. So keep in mind that when you get into recovery, to start looking at your life and break it down and see if you're doing what you want to be doing. If you live where you want to live. I was joking around with somebody the other day who is a good friend of mine, but we were joking around because I always tell my wife, why do we live in New Jersey? Okay, we grew up here, our families are here, I get that. But why do we choose to live in a very expensive place where we don't really have, I mean, it's a beautiful state, we have the beach right here, and it's great, but I hate the wintertime, it's cold. Why don't we move to like Fiji? You know what I mean? Like, why are we here? And then she gave me a bunch of reasons and brought me back down to reality, but because we have kids and they need education and so on and so forth. But they could still get an education in Fiji on an island and live in paradise. I mean, we choose what we want for ourselves. Yes, there are some things beyond our control that sometimes we have to fall victim to, and that's okay. But for the most part, we're in control of where we live, what we do with our lives, and how we go about our business. So take a look at your life, see if you're where you want to be. And of course, we all want to make changes. I have changes that I make very frequently in my life because either I'm going a different direction than I wanted, that I thought that I wanted, and then you get there and you're like, you know, this isn't exactly what I expected, so you start changing. That's life. I mean, you're gonna hit forks in the road where you decide whether you're doing what you really want to be doing. So take a look at your life when you're in recovery, see if you're happy doing with what you're doing, and if you're not, make changes. Okay? If you have to take a pay cut, is happiness worth a pay cut? In my eyes, it is. Okay, if you're not stressed out all the time, you feel healthier because you're not stressed. You're feeling you have more purpose. I mean, that to me means a lot more than money. But it's up to you what you want out of your life. All right, don't get to the end of your life and feel like you screwed it all up. All right. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below the video. If you want to share your story, you can email me at ryan@calmsupport.com. In the subject line, put YouTube story, my story. Let me know if you want to use your first or last name or stay anonymous. Continue watching. Leave some comments, like I said. And I'll check you guys out tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Last day of the week. All right, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. And stay safe.